Ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to get all the hashtags together. All my hashtags. Y'all know my hashtag when you date thugs, you date death. Hashtag TTOTTT. Hashtag when you live by the thug, you die by the thug. All of that good stuff. I want y'all to post all of the all of the hashtags that you can think of that I've come up with. Because for people like this, I get tired of seeing this and people feel sorry. Ooh, boy, we're going to talk about that picture. They feel sorry for the person that ends up dead and the children. But then it's like you don't never look at the person and say, why were you even in this situation? How did you even get here? So let's talk about this real quick, and we're going to get into them tattoos on his face, too. Oh, get ready for this, ladies and gentlemen. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. And of course, my favorite source, lawandcrime.com. Thank you again for the article. Sad story. Pretty girl making bad choices, love bad boys, and get paid for it with your life. Now I want y'all to look. This picture of his face. No, y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand. I need to make this bigger on the screen so y'all can see this. I need to put this in HD so y'all can see this. There are people that actually are wanting to have sex with this on my screen and make babies with this and think they have a future with this and think that this is going to turn into something productive, right? The thug lion. Oh, you can take the lion out of the zoo, but you can't take the zoo out of the lion. God, dog. You can take the lion out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the lion. Ain't that some shit? Look at his face. It looks like somebody came in and did one of them old school movies like Beat Street and Breaking. I'm sorry, I might have just told my age. I might not even know what I'm talking about. Beat Street came in there and sprayed his face up. Right? Goodness gracious. That pic screams felon. Thank you. Every bit of it. So do y'all think I feel sad for this woman that passed away and her baby? I feel sad for the baby, and that's about it. I want y'all to hear. Look at this fool. I can't even tell y'all the story. Look at this. I want y'all to stop what y'all doing. And look at this. How, Sway? How? How do you look at somebody who looks like this, behaves like this, rolls like this, and you're sad? You're just like, I thought little Ray little Pookie was okay. He was a good boy, y'all. He's a good boy. He always took out the trash. He loves his family, y'all. He was a good mama's boy. What? This whole picture screams nigger. With the hard ER. Check it out. A convicted murderer and a self-proclaimed serial killer who once declared in court that he is the, quote, Michael Myers, will spend the rest of his days behind bars for killing his pregnant girlfriend and her unborn child. Do y'all even want me to read any more details? I don't think I have to read nothing else. That one sentence, and I'm going to read it again. Let's go through this slowly, y'all. A convicted murderer. First of all, How is he out of prison if he's convicted of murder? First of all. Second of all, a self-proclaimed serial killer. Third of all, he declared himself as a monster, calling himself Michael Myers. Embracing the whole bad boy persona, and this woman loved that, right? She loved it. She lived by it, she died by it. Pregnant girlfriend, made your baby suffer. Shelby County Criminal Court Judge Carolyn L. Addison on Thursday ordered Joshua Dotson, that was the thug boyfriend's real name, Joshua Dotson, not Michael Myers, just so y'all know, to serve a sentence of 102 years in a Tennessee correctional facility for the 2020 slayings of 19-year-old Jamisha Coveson and her unborn child, records reviewed by Law and Crime. A jury in August found Dotson guilty on 2 counts of first-degree murder for the fatal shootings following a 3-day trial. Jurors deliberated for just 45 minutes after Dotson took the stand in his own defense. What defense? What defense? I would have loved to have heard that. And told the court that he was a serial killer. I am Michael Myers, Dotson reportedly exclaimed during testimony in which he also confessed to 3 additional murders. He was probably trying to get off on insanity, but he ain't insane. Hold him accountable. The comment was an apparent reference to the fictional character of the same name who terrorized teens in the Halloween horror movie series. Addison sentenced Dotson to 51 years for each murder conviction, ordering the sentences to be served consecutively, one after another. Oh, yeah, they said that. During the hearing, Addison reportedly referred to Coveson's murder as one of the saddest situations I've seen in my career. You will never show remorse for the loss you've brought, Addison said to Dotson per WHBQ. The jury got it right. According to a probable cause affidavit from the Memphis Police Department, in the early morning hours of June the 12th of 2020, Dotson and Coveson were at her home in the 1200 block of Quinn Avenue in Memphis when they got into an argument regarding some post on Facebook and the victim's pregnancy. At one point, Coveson went into a room and closed the door on Dotson, who responded by firing a bullet through the door. Yous don't disrespect a thug. I thought she knew the playbook. You can fuck a thug, but you don't disrespect a thug. Guess she didn't know that. While the initial bullet did not hit Coveson, Dotson forced his way into the room to continue arguing before leaving. Police say that he returned a bit later and fired multiple shots into Coveson's closed door, ultimately killing her and the child. Several hours later, officers received, and I want y'all to let me know when y'all feel sad for her. Let me know when y'all feel sad. Post some tear emojis in there when y'all feel sad for her, right? I'll be waiting. Several hours later, officers received a call regarding a shooting with 1 shot to Coveson's address. The affidavit states the victim, Coveson, was found in the house with several gunshot wounds. She was transported to the hospital where she expired from her wounds. The doctors at the hospital advised that she was approximately 5 to 6 months pregnant, and the baby had also expired from the injuries. Multiple witnesses told authorities they saw Dotson with a gun during both shootings, and prosecutors called 10 witnesses to the stand during the trial to provide testimony. According to a news release from the Shelby County District Attorney's Office, just 2 hours after fatally shooting Coveson, Dotson posted a memorial for Coveson on his Facebook page, telling her to fly high. And what authorities believe was a calculated attempt to distance himself from the crime. I have a lot of hashtags, and they all apply with this story. Again, I've told you young women, this girl is about my daughter's age. Been telling y'all. I tell my daughter, I tell all young women, especially black women. Y'all date these type of fools, you get these type of results, you get what you get. They date these type of people, first of all, because it's a mirror image of how they see themselves. They date the type of men of how they see themselves. That's number one. Number two, it's also a self-esteem thing. Number three, it's a protection mechanism because they believe that you get with the hardest, most dangerous dude ever, and ain't nobody gonna mess with you, and ain't nobody gonna mess with him because they gonna be scared to die. And you think that your sexual organs are gonna be the one thing on earth he chose you, he not gonna leave you, and you think that you can tame this hood fool, this thug, this self-proclaimed killer. You think that you can tame him. Here's the problem with thug lions. They're wild, and they're meant to be wild. They aren't meant to be tamed. They aren't meant to be dealt with. They're meant to be left in the wild to themselves. You're not supposed to engage with a thug lion. Because you know why? Because you might have a few good days, might be some good times, but guess what? The thug lion nature is going to eventually come out, and then you just think that that behavior is going to affect everybody else. All his homeboys, the people in the neighborhood are going to be scared of him. All the women might be scared of him. And you think that he's going to protect you until you piss him off. Then that thug lion is going to turn on you, which they usually and almost always do. And you were pregnant, it affected your child. This story involves a child, which is the only reason I'm talking about it. To be honest, do I feel sad for her? No, I don't. I feel sad for her child, and I feel sad the fact that this is the two people that are choosing to procreate. Straight like that. No, the family not going to like what I got to say. Change the behavior. Don't change the messenger. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. It's too many times people want to tell me how to change my message and tell me to change stuff, but they won't go out and go change nothing in their own society. It's just a wild thing to me. Y'all do me a favor and hit that thumbs up. Even if you don't agree, you can leave a comment and tell me where you don't agree and where I'm actually wrong at, because I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong at all.
New at 4:30, a self-proclaimed serial killer will be spending the rest of his life in prison. Today, Joshua Dotson was sentenced to more than 100 years for the murder of his former girlfriend and her unborn child. He shot and killed 19-year-old Jamisha Kovson at her South Memphis home after an argument over a Facebook post and her pregnancy. During his trial, he likened himself to horror movie character Michael Myers, even claiming he'd killed 3 other people between 2019 and 2020.
Also new this midday, a Shelby County jury found a man guilty for killing his girlfriend and unborn child. That jury convicted Joshua Dotson after a 3-day trial. Police say that Dotson shot and killed Jamisha Kovson and her unborn child at Kovson's South Memphis home in 2020. Dotson will be sentenced in the coming weeks. He now faces the possibility of life in prison without parole.
The possibility? That should be a guarantee. Y'all look at this. And it's just amazing how these type of fools will still get chosen. And it just lets me know just how far gone we are in our society when it comes to properly pair bonding, Boy, we need real fathers more than ever to start raising these young folks. Because the type of people that they get with, and you could even raise your daughter as great as you possibly can, and they still might choose a thug. That's a very real possibility. We got a new hashtag. Hashtag change the behavior, not the message. Or not the messenger. Right? They be trying to change me, but they won't change this type of stuff from happening. They won't stop the children from getting murdered. They will not stop. They won't go out and protest. They'll go out and go protest against the president of the United States. They'll go out and be upset about that. They'll go out and go cry liberal tears about that all day long. But they won't cry for the little boys and the little girls who are suffering at home in their neighborhoods, in their apartment complexes, in their families all the time. And nobody is crying for these children. Nobody's fighting for these children. Nobody's speaking out for these children. And clearly the message isn't getting through to these people that this ain't what you should want, right? But nonetheless, RIP to the little baby and nothing else in this story. Thank you guys so much for listening to this story. Why does he ever, he should never even get a possibility of parole? They should have just flat out just said life in prison, no possibility of parole. Like, why should he even be able to survive in prison? Give him the death penalty. He needs to be gone and done with.